I thought you'll retire from the secretary's position and will handle the director or MD's position after the marriage. You did nothing out of these. Why? You chuckled slightly. I would have, but I still want to learn a couple of things, and I like working as a secretary and I'm planning to do it for a while now. He shrugged his shoulders. Completely your choice, but it's still hard to believe that you got married to Jungkook. You didn't tell anyone that you are the daughter of one of the finest industrialists. Sorry for keeping it a secret. I just prefer to work with my own abilities. While you were talking to one of your close friend who is the manager in the same company you work in, but you were unaware that someone was keeping his eyes on you and was getting jealous. And he was no other than your boss, or you can say husband, because now you are married to him. You suddenly got a call from him. Excuse me, you excused yourself and attended the call. Enough talking, you can come to the office now. You looked around, dumbfounded, like, is he watching you? Because you have no idea. The call ended and you walked towards Mingyu. I'll go now. He nodded before you both bid goodbye to each other. You opened the door and walked inside his office only to see him looking at you the moment you entered inside. Coffee? You said, giving him his cup. Does it take 20 minutes to get a coffee for yourself when the cafeteria is just on the same floor? You looked at him. I brought for you as well, and it's my break time. You shouldn't be watching from wherever you were doing that. Why? You are afraid of being caught? You gave him a weird look. Getting caught for what? He leaned back on his chair, taking a sip of his coffee. Nothing, but if your break is over, then can we check some emails for me? You walked near his desk. Your most emails are from PR. You stood beside his chair and leaned on his desk a little before looking at the mail in his computer. He was smiling slightly, looking at you. You are always so focused when it comes to work. You never look at me with those eyes. You squinted one of your eyes and looked at him confused as he distracted you. What eyes? He was gazing intently into your eyes. Suddenly he leaned forward and your faces were only inches away. This did make your heart skip a beat, but you stayed focused. What do you mean by that? And why are you behaving so weirdly? It doesn't suit you. You said again, turning your face towards the computer, because you can't hold that eye contact with him. The whole company know that we got married. Everyone thinks of us as a happily married couple, but why we still behave like a boss and employee? Nothing has changed. You again looked at him because he indeed was behaving differently today. I think you drank a lot yesterday and still not over from the hangover. Did I say something wrong? Nope, but you forgot that we are also married with conditions on our contract papers. We are a couple for other people, but we know the truth. What truth? He said, tilting his head, and looked a little bit serious. You actually start to feel a little bit nervous. We agreed to end this marriage if it didn't work out or we didn't fall in love. You raised your brow, but still nervous around him. Do you want to say that you are falling in love? You waited for his reply. Why? Don't you? He questioned you back. Only if your ex let it happen. You could see confusion spreading across his face from where she came in the middle. That's what I always think. You said, stepping aside from the screen to let him look at it, and there's an email from her account. His ex-girlfriend is the CEO of an agency and always email him in the hope that he accepts his PR. But she doesn't know that you are the one who reads all his mails and you also understand her intentions. You are well aware that it's just an excuse that she makes to again get in touch with Jungkook. Maybe she gets to know about this marriage through social media, and why not? Everyone knows that two most powerful industrialist families tied knots together. She still thinks she can win Jungkook by playing an innocent game, but she didn't know that he has already moved on and now he has no will to go back. It's been 4 months since you both got married under convenience. It was for practical and financial reasons, but you guys got agreed to end it if none of you fall for each other. But little did both of you know that it will never going to happen. Jungkook has feelings for you before the marriage when you were only his secretary. The way his ex broke his heart, he forgot it after you came into his life. But on the other hand, you are still a little insecure and in doubt. You know it's wrong to doubt him for no reason, but the fact that she's still not going away sometimes makes you insecure about yourself. She's more successful than you and have more abilities. And who knows, she again attract Jungkook towards her. Your thoughts interrupted when Jungkook exhaled deeply and came a little forward to get a closer look at the screen. This woman still thinks that I'll accept any deal or collaboration with her company. You looked at him, so you won't reply? He looked at you. What do you think about it? You knew he's asking for your permission, but you shrugged your shoulders before looking away. What would I say? It's your personal matter. He grabbed your arm and pulled you towards him, resulting in that you directly landed on his lap. You swallowed, feeling yourself so close to him. Your heartbeat was at its peak. Will you stop acting like this, or I just start here to show you who's in my personal space now? Your eyes widened and cheeks turned red while you were sitting on his lap and hands against his chest. Fortunately, his phone started to ring and he winced, not liking this disturbance, but you were a little relieved because this was too much for you to handle at once. You were feeling so hot right now. He took out his phone and saw the caller ID. It was a number so you didn't recognize, but his face said it all when you saw him rolling his eyes. You took an attempt to get up from his lap, but he didn't let you and wrapped his hand around your waist, making your eyes widen. He then answered the phone while eyes only focused on you. Dinner? You want to meet for dinner? You felt your heart clenching when you heard her voice from the other side. Now you feel jealous. Out of jealousy, you kissed his neck, making him silent for a second because he was completely shocked. You pulled back and looked at him before tracing your fingers on his face. You hear her whine on the phone. Are you there, Jungkook? Are you listening to me? She asked when he didn't reply. Jungkook came back to his senses and looked at you before whispering. What are you doing? You shrugged, finishing what my husband started. You said even though you were thinking that he might say yes to go on a dinner with her. But then you heard her saying that she just wants to see him and looking forward to meet him. Jungkook bit his lower lip as he couldn't control himself. He gulped before speaking. I don't know why you were looking forward to meeting me. You know that I'm married now and I have plans with my wife for foreseeable future. Don't call me back ever. You were amazed and surprised by his answer, but now you got a little scared after seeing the way he was looking at you. You knew you have started something you might not be able to handle. He cut the call and you take an attempt to get up, but he made you sit on his lap again. Where do you think you are leaving, my dear wife? You really want to start everything here, huh? You shook your head. I was just kidding. Let me go. He trapped you between his strong arms. But I take jokes pretty seriously. Now there's no step back. You gulped and your face was red like a cherry. Jungkook brushed your hair back from your neck and started to come closer when you put your hand on his mouth. Yeah, what the hell is this? I told you it was only a joke. You got off of his lap and stood up. He poked his inner cheek while his eyes on you. It was pretty awkward and tensed for you. You think I'll let it go? We'll talk about it later, but first tell me, why did you say to her that you have plans with me? As far as I remember, we didn't plan anything. I enjoy making plans on the spot, and it's one of them. You controlled yourself from smiling. Sure, but we have a meeting, so shall we? He nodded and got up. But can I ask you why you kissed me like a vampire? You looked at him embarrassed. I'm sorry. And you walked away first because you couldn't control your laugh while he chuckled and followed you. So this was your dinner plan. I thought we'll go to some restaurant. He came near you before serving hot soup in a bowl along with so many dishes that he prepared just for you. Madam, you can never get this taste in any restaurant or cafe. I never cook for anyone else except me. He chuckled and looked at him. Are you sure? Because I remember once eating the ramen that you cooked when I visited your apartment. He looked at you. That's what I am saying. I never cooked for anyone except myself, and if I'm doing it for you, you should know what you mean to me. Well, thank you so much for letting me know, but I just can't wait to taste it. You took a bite and just got lost in the taste. He was smiling while looking at you. No way, you should be a chef instead of a CEO. It's just so good. I can eat this all the time without getting bored. You got short of words to praise him. Why are you worried? I'm all yours. A shy smile appeared on your face. Are you not going to eat? Sure, it's a date night. You chuckled as he sat on the chair. Let me serve you. You served him the food, and thank you for all this. You just made my day. He took a bite while smiling, and you were not sure why he's smiling that way. Can I ask you why is that grin for? He looked at you. Nothing, I'm just happy to see you happy. But your way of thanking is so casual. You remember what I said in the office, right? A blush appeared on your cheeks. You silently started to eat the food while he giggled. The next morning, you woke up feeling heavy around your waist. After opening your eyes, you found out Jungkook sleeping peacefully while hugging your waist. You again laid down and smiled slightly. Remembering the last night, you didn't believe that you actually decided to commit yourself to him. A lot of things you came to know about yesterday, and you have realized that you were worried for no reason. He's all yours and will forever be. You sat down leaning your back against the headboard while caressing his soft and fluffy hair. His tattooed arms were still wrapped around your waist and he looked like a baby while sleeping. How can someone look completely different and opposite of their nature while sleeping? I really never thought I'll change my mind that easily. Seems like I have no regrets taking that decision. He moved a little and woke up before he lifted up his face only to see you smiling at him. His one eye was still closed. Good morning. He sighed and again put his head on your waist. Morning. He said in his morning husky voice. Seems like someone has no plan to go to work today. He nodded his head while eyes still closed. You're absolutely right. That's not how it works, Mr. CEO. You'll set a bad example to your employees. Let's go, we need to get ready. He sat down and looked at you. Maybe a morning kiss will wake me up. You chuckled and pecked on his cheek. All set? Am I a kid? Leave it, I'll take it by myself. And before you say anything, he was kissing you passionately. You smiled and wrapped your arms around his neck, pulling him on top of you. These records are from last year, and if we look at it carefully, this time the company has performed well. Our sales also increased by 25%, which shows that the newly launched product is highly preferable among the customers. And also, the number of big investors have increased this year so much compared to the last 5 years. Jungkook nodded as he was looking at the records and all the data carefully. Should we launch a new product, completely different since we can experiment in this stage as we are progressing? He said, looking at both of you. I think we should wait and analyze. Let's increase the sales of this particular product and then we'll go with new launch under same brand. You said, giving your opinion, on which Mingyu highly agreed. That's the best idea. Only you can come up with such ideas, and that's why we need you here. Thanks. He smiled, but Jungkook was shooting a glance at both of you. After all, whose wife is she, right? You both looked at him and Mingyu controlled his smile before nodding. Yes, yes. But I think Mingyu and I met a lot earlier than you, correct, Min? Jungkook felt jealous when you called him with so much love, even though he know you always call him like this, and it's only because you guys are old friends. Since middle school, it's been almost 10 years. Jungkook got up. Okay, but don't forget you are my wife now. You looked at him speechless. Yes, of course I am. He looked at Mingyu while he smiled. Okay, now I'll leave. You should. He walked away smiling while you turned towards him. Wow, did you just get jealous? Jungkook came near you and pulled you closer, making your eyes widened. Should I be? I know my wife very well. You chuckled. Wow, I never thought that the guy who always used to doubt my abilities to work is complimenting me. I complimented my wife, but as a secretary also you have improved a lot. You pouted while he giggled and pecked on your lips.